Good morning, everyone. Welcome to morning meeting. Today we are going to go on a walk with Henry. So I'm going to turn the camera around and let him out, and we'll see where he wants to go. As always, let me know where you guys are tuning in from today. If you have any questions, right, Henry? The star of the show. Let's go. Good morning, Henry. You can come out? Let's go. Oh, nice shake. Where do you want to go today? Right, bud? Good morning. So Henry is our North American porcupine ambassador. So we do like to bring him out on these walks, get some exercise. So he actually tells us what he wants to be eating during these walks. So their diets do change seasonally, and so he'll go throughout the season and decide what he wants to munch on, and that's the browse that will get him. Also does this where he marks things. Good morning, Robin from South Portland. Good morning, Louise from Massachusetts. Oh, thank you so much, Louise, for donating. That was so sweet of you. As always, we are so incredibly grateful for all of your donations. We are a non-profit. We don't receive any state or federal funding for the work we do. So we are truly incredibly grateful for your donations. Right, Henry? Like, you're just making me walk. Where's my sweet potato? He is super cute, Louise. He's definitely a fan favorite. He's by far probably our most requested ambassador. We never guarantee that we can bring an ambassador on the program, but we do try when there is a request. Henry, let's go eat some browse. Come on. I don't want that. I want the sweet potato. Good morning, Naomi. Welcome. What? That is saying he does tell us what he wants to eat on these walks. As the seasons change, like some of them, the plants he really enjoys really early in the spring, but within about a couple weeks of them budding, he doesn't want them anymore. So we do let him kind of guide us to what he would like. We do have a good idea of what he should want, but sometimes he wants some different things than we would normally get him. We give him a lot of oaks and black birch during the summertime. Really early in the spring, he really likes the American beech, but only for the first couple weeks or so. And during the winter, he'll get this hemlock as well as pine. He really loves raspberries as well, one of his favorites. Good morning, Chuck from Rhode Island. Good morning, Julia. So Julia asked how Violet is doing as a foster mom. She's doing wonderful. We're so proud of her. But this is really high. Let's go this way. Like, no, I want to go this way. So she had her first learning experience of being a foster mom last summer. So she had a baby last summer that she took care of. We were able to release. And then she has 2 in there that she's taking care of right now, which are just really proud of her. She's doing a wonderful job teaching those babies exactly how to be a vulture. But she's doing wonderful. Hi, Mom. Good morning, Casey from New Hampshire. Noelle wants to know, who are Henry's friends? Does he hang out with other animals? So his friends are kind of his humans. Henry is imprinted on humans, so he doesn't know he's a porcupine. He was kidnapped out of the wild as a baby, and baby porcupines are only about the size of a softball or grapefruit when they're born. Oh, there's some raspberry. The softball are grapefruit when they're born. They're actually born with all 30,000 of these quills that you can see. Except they're soft when they're born and harden within about an hour or so. So after that hour, they're literally just miniature adults. They have to learn how to use them. So Henry can never go back into the wild because he has no fear of humans. He actually came to us as a patient into our wildlife hospital when he was a youngster. So someone had found him at the base of a tree, thought he was orphaned. While moms will leave their babies alone, they don't want to attract predators to them. But where are we going? And so they'll often leave their baby alone so that they don't attract those predators. The babies have all those quills, they just have to learn how to use them. But where are you taking us today? Like, I got stuff to do, guys. Henry. Let's turn around. We're getting a little close to the road, bud. Hey, want this? Want this? Yeah. Let's go. This way. Thank you. So Henry is about 6 years old now. And we know pretty much how old he is. Ooh, here's a wild raspberry. You want that? Hey, Henry. No, you don't want that. There you go. Oh, nope, you have the sweet potato. So when Henry came to us as a baby, we did try to wild him out, which pretty much means that we act like big, scary predators. So we put our hands up, we stomp our feet, we act big and scary. And Henry's response was he used those really long claws that he has to stick his hand in the door when we would unlatch it, open the door and be like, "Good morning, hello humans, where's my breakfast?" So he had no fear, and that's why he is non-releasable. But he certainly does have his favorite humans. Kristen, our executive director, Katie, who you guys have seen a lot of, as well as Sarah, our community outreach specialist. But he loves pretty much anyone that has the food, his usual go-to. Where are you going? But he doesn't hang out with any other animals per se, but he does enjoy his human company. Whoever has the sweet potato. And good morning, Yvette from New York. Oh, awesome. I'm originally from New York, so welcome. Hi, Dad. Robin, Henry's very cute when he shakes. He is super, super cute. Okay, I'm going to get you some sweet potato because you have some reason you want to go to the road. So for those of you that haven't been to our center before, so we are nestled at the base of Mount Agamenticus. So about a quarter mile up the road, you can hike up to the summit or drive up, depending on what you please. But they do have a pretty substantial native porcupine population there. There's at least about 30 porcupines. And we do have a couple that do like to hang out around the center, and so I'm sure that's probably why Henry is very interested in going out to the road. He probably smells one of our wild friends. Good morning, Katie. Oh, yeah. Such a cutie. Yes, Chuck. They are related to beavers, and so you might be able to see. Probably not. But he does have two bright orange front teeth. That's the signature thing of rodents. And so he is our second largest rodent, just smaller than beaver. He is a bit smaller for a male porcupine. And we believe that might be due to the fact that he didn't receive great care before he came to us. So we think he might have stunted his growth a little bit because he's smaller and his guard hair. So all these little whiskers, like hairs coming off the sides, are a bit smaller than a wild porcupine. I don't know if you guys have seen the picture of the porcupine patient that we have right now. Hi, Karen. Good morning. Kathy, does he eat poison ivy? So So that's a really interesting question because we don't actually have poison ivy here at the center. So we have like looked out just so for our own purposes. He may eat it, he may not. But since we don't have any here at the center, I'm not totally sure. We're very lucky though that we don't have it around where we would normally be walking around. Kara, do you do these walks with him in the winter? Does he like the snow? Also a very funny question because Henry is not a huge fan of snow or rain or puddles. So sometimes if it's raining or if there's substantial snow, after we've plowed and we have our walkways shoveled around, Henry will open the door, and if he sees snow on the ground, he's like, nope, 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 and then he goes back into his enclosure, like, not happening. But in that case, we have to pick him up and carry him, usually about halfway, and then we pull him down, and he's like, fine. But we do still give him walks during the wintertime. Particularly, especially in the wintertime, because that is when, like all mammals, he gets a little chunky. So they will naturally put on some weight during the winter. These guys do not hibernate, and so he will put on all that weight to keep himself warm during the wintertime. They are primarily solitary animals, and so really the only time that we do see them together is we see 2 or 3 sometimes during the wintertime. Just kind of gently cuddling up, trying to keep each other warm. But he doesn't particularly enjoy them, especially when it's cold, but that's when he needs them most. Good morning, Casey. Noelle would like to know if they regrow quills. They do! So all these little quills, you can see all this white here. And if he lets me show you on the back. Like, stop! But you can see on the top of his head, all that white is his quills. So he's completely covered on his back and sides. The only place that he doesn't have them are on his belly. And so those quills are actually just modified hairs. So he can raise them and lower them depending on his mood. It's actually the same ligament of how we get goosebumps. So except he can control them. So right now they are flat. So think he's walking around the forest floor. He is nocturnal, so he's walking around at night. And he doesn't have great eyesight like most of our nocturnal mammals. They're going to get around with their sense of smell and their sense of touch. And so he's going to use that smell and, yeah, these longer hairs to help him get a sense for his environment. Except as he's walking around, he doesn't want to lose a quill every single time he hits something. So they are far more likely to come out once they are standing up. Because imagine if you pull one single hair out, it doesn't feel great, but you're okay. If he loses a whole chunk of them, he's going to be sore for a little while, and that's really not a fun experience for a porcupine. So if you ever heard someone say that their dog got attacked by a porcupine, it simply is not true. These guys are like the little hippies of the forest. They just want to eat and sleep, be left alone. But imagine that's how a dog introduces themselves. They smell each other's bums, and if you smell a porcupine's bum, you are gonna get a whack of that tail that has all the quills. And then, oh, you're like, stop! I'm trying to eat my breakfast. Oh, I'll leave you alone. Right, honey. But they do regrow them. It just like our hair, just takes some time. I am very lucky, Kathy. This is by far the best job in the world. Getting to hang out with these guys, take care of them, bring them to see groups and visitors, and really introduce these guys to our public. Munch, 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 yes. Perry, he is a very pampered boy. Yeah, so he will eat the raspberries, the leaves, and the fruit. But of course those have the thorns on them, so it's not necessarily fun for us to grab them, but he certainly enjoys them. There you go. I'm trying to show your teeth. There's really long claws. Are you just gonna lick it? What are you doing? Oh. He is. I have a whole bag of treats for him. Some sweet potato, apple, some acorns, see if he'll eat them. He's a bit of a acorn connoisseur, so if they're bad, he will literally throw them. So he definitely lets us know. Casey, I don't blame you. He likes talking around in the snow. Yeah, he does have little tiny little legs. He likes glamping, yes. He's very much a spoiled boy, but we absolutely adore him. He is very cute, Carrie. Good morning. So you'd be surprised, Perry, actually. He's not totally a bottomless pit. Do you really have your eyes closed right now? Oh, no. But he does get full, particularly in the fall and winter time when he's getting lots and lots of treats. Pumpkin and sweet potato and squashes and gourds and Christmas trees. They're all his absolute favorite things. So he has and can get a bellyache from eating too much food. And then sometimes if he eats the wrong stuff, so even though we have a lot of beech and oak around this area, we also unfortunately have red maple. These guys in the wild would eat sugar maple, but the red maple has tannins in it, so it does give them a bellyache if they eat too much. Good morning, Carol from Wyoming. That is awesome. Oh. Hi, good morning. Good. Do you have an admission for us?
Yeah, I got a bird.
Awesome. If you want to pull all the way up to the front, there's a doorway. The building kind of looks like a little house. If you have a cell phone, just call in. Someone will come out to meet you and grab the animal from you.
Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you. Sorry, that was an admission. You want an acorn? Don't bite me. Thank you. You don't want the skin your apple. You're so spoiled, Henry. I know, Katie. We do enjoy having him on. You get extra special treatment. Like I said, Henry is definitely a fan favorite. Everyone absolutely adores him. He's our most requested ambassador, and so when we need a nice pick-me-up, Henry is definitely the answer. Right, Henry? We're gonna start walking back, bud. I want my treats. Since I was hoping you were gonna eat browse and you have no interest in any of your wild food, just your treats. So even though we do give him these fruits and veggies, his dinner will have a piece of one of these, and then a piece of like squash or another veggie or mushroom, and then some rodent chow, and then the base of it is really like kale or some sort of dark greens. Even though these are fruits and veggies to us, they are his treat for him. Because there is a lot of sugar in there, and that does cause him to put on weight, especially in the wintertime when his metabolism does slow down. And so we don't want him to get a bellyache, so we do have to regulate how much he is getting, as much as he doesn't enjoy that part of it. Oh, thank you, Chuck. We're really glad that you guys have been really enjoying all of these still and tuning in with us. Oop, fast. Nope, let's go. Henry. Henry. I know. As you can see, he's standing on 2 feet right now. Wild porcupines do not do this. Wild porcupines don't stand on 2 feet. If you've ever been to the center, you've seen Henry does a little sort of dance kind of thing in the front of his enclosure when people walk by. Because he knows humans feed him. That's why he's non-releasable, and so anytime anyone walks by, doesn't matter if it's one of our educators or people that normally feed him, in Henry's world, any single person walking by his enclosure is obviously going to have food for him. So he stands on his back 2 feet and wiggles around and makes a little whining noise. Carrie. So Henry came to us because he was kidnapped out of the wild, Carrie. So he was found as a porcupine, which is what a baby porcupine is called. And they're only about the size of a softball or a grapefruit when they're born. Except they're actually born with all 30,000 of those quills. And they are soft when they're born, hardened within about an hour or so. And then after that hour, they're really just miniature adults. They have to learn how to use those quills. And so mom will leave her baby alone at the base of a tree. She'll come down to nurse a couple times. But she doesn't want... No, Henry. Let's go. This way. I know, I'm making you move. Come on. Henry. Let's go. Come on. We gotta get out of the parking lot, but come here. Let's go. This way. At least out of the driveway, and then we can sit. But he was very young when he came to us. We tried to wild him out, which pretty much means like we act like big scary predators to him. For the first about 6 months that he came to us, he'd been kidnapped. Someone thought he was orphaned, found him at the base of a tree. Unfortunately, didn't feed him the best of foods, so he was pretty malnourished when he came to us, which is why we think he is a bit on the smaller side. Yeah, you. But that is why he's with us. He's about 6 years. Oh no, no sweet potato. Want some apple? Oh, there you go. But the one down at the Museum of Science down in Boston actually just turned 32 recently. So we're hoping to have Henry for a really, really long time. Look at those ears. Oh, thank you. We pride ourselves in our care, that's for sure. We do want, because they do live with us for a good chunk of their life, we want to make sure that they have a happy and healthy and enriched life. Because they can't make that decision for themselves. So we do try our absolute best to give these the best care they possibly can get. Thank you. Yeah, Carrie, you're right. He can never be released. He clearly has absolutely no fear. So a wild porcupine will definitely not be this calm next to you. They'll be showing all those quills, like, go away. But of course, they're not gonna attack you per se. They're gonna show all those quills though and hope you leave them alone. Right, honey? I just want my sweet potato, human. Leave me alone. You're so cute. Yes, you can see those claws on him. These guys are excellent climbers. So they will spend majority of time up in a tree. I mean, you can tell if you have a porcupine living by you just by their droppings. Oh, yeah. So you'll find at the base of a tree just a bunch of pellets. If you have an overturned base of a tree, like a tree that had fallen down, or if you have a little rock ledge, chances are you might have a porcupine or some other wildlife living under there. That's generally where they're gonna hide out, especially during the wintertime. During the summer, though, they will spend a lot of time up in the trees. They're not going to come down too much. Just so they don't get attacked by anything. They actually don't have very many good predators. So the only animal that has learned, what, you're not into the sweet potato? What is that? Want another acorn? What do you think of that? Want that? So the only thing that has learned to actually hunt them is fishers. So what fishers will do, these guys have those quills all over their body, on their tail. The only place that is not covered in those quills is their belly. And so what, seriously? What they'll do is they'll have, the fisher will go above them, swat the porcupine in the face, and that will cause the porcupine to fall backwards. Of course, exposing that belly. And so the fishers are really the only thing that have learned how to hunt them. These guys are actually a pretty common cause of like young coyote death. So those quills have kind of like a little microscopic Christmas tree barb on the end of them. And they will actually keep moving through the body until they come out. So they hurt, they're not pleasant going in, but they hurt far more coming out. And that barb will make the body push them through the body until they come out the other side. So unfortunately, when they get an animal gets a whack of that tail, that means that they're getting a lot of quills to the face, which will keep migrating through, unfortunately. Robin, he does try to climb. We will sometimes let him, only about to really hit height. Then we'll use our gloves. This is how we carry Henry when we have to. Yeah. Let's go this way. Good boy, Henry. So we will let him climb a little bit. He can climb all around his enclosure. Oh, you're just gonna mark it? Okay. Henry, can you go away from the trash? But there's something over here. Come here, let's go. But he is quite a good climber, though. If we ever make it back to his enclosure, I can show you how that is actually set up so he can walk around and climb. Let's go. Good boy, Henry. Don't eat that. No. That's witch hazel. No. So, Henry should know not to eat that. That is witch hazel. That is toxic to our mammals. Let's go. This way. Thank you. So it's things like that in the red maple where we have to watch what he's eating when he's on these walks. Because those are going to make him sick. What's that, Henry? You smell something? What do you smell? What do you smell? I'm just gonna mark this as my own. Cute, bud. So they do have a scent gland on their belly. So he does mark lots of different things, especially in his enclosure, just to mark it as his own. These guys, they're... yeah. Breeding season is actually in the fall. Oh, and we even got some poop. Look at that. Oh. Nice job, bud. As a herbivore, they do poop quite a bit. Dude, you're going to town on that thing. Come on. Let's go. This way. You're not actually going to eat it. I know you. Henry. So if you guys have any last questions about Henry, about the center, we're just going to try to mosey back. You might be able to hear Bertram very loudly making sure I know that he has not had breakfast yet. And Gracie. So we're going to get Henry back to his enclosure and get everyone else fed. Kara, he's interesting. So our nocturnal animals, so Henry, Ophelia, all of our owls, they are awake during the day, as well as at night. So they know that's when they're going to be working. Obviously, we don't do programs at night. You're being so good, Henry. Come here. We don't do programs at night. And so they know this is when they're going to be working during the day. So they are used to it. Let's go. Thank you for being so cooperative, Henry. Here, I'll give you a treat now. There you go. There you go. So he will be awake during the day and night, but it's more of a balance for them. They don't sleep 8 hours like we do. So they're going to go through periods of rest, more or less, during the day and night. So since we are in the enclosure, I can show you. So he'll climb there, and he will actually climb. Above that door, he can just hold on to the wood and climb up. He'll climb up to there. So anywhere where you see black in this enclosure, Henry has marked, despite our best efforts of cleaning. We can get all around this enclosure is some of the treats that we do give him. So this is called black birch. It actually smells like peppermint if you rip it. It's one of his favorite treats. We'll give it to him as well. But like if we have baby squirrels that are having belly issues, we can give it to them. It'll help them settle their upset stomach. We have some oaks in here. Some other oaks. Yeah, that's Henry's treats. Since he is nocturnal, he gets his big dinner at night. So I'm going to take his platter from him. Right. Oh, have a wonderful day as well to you, Katie and Robin and Lisa and Chuck and Elaine and Jordan. Yes, Katie, so the black rubs off of his, it's a secretion on his belly. He has a little gland right there. That's what he's marking. All over. Say goodbye, Henry. Have a great day, everyone. We'll see you tomorrow.